Today I'm reviewing the Dazzne D80 professional LED lighting. It's continuous light, and these lights were sent to me by the manufacturer. I had these lights for about 2 weeks now, and I had time to play with them. And before I show you some tests and some ways that you can use them both in footage, in video footage, and also in still photography, let me just quickly mention a few of the features of these lights. The most important thing, I think, is that if you're gonna like these lights, at the end of the video I'll give you a discount code that will allow you to get 30% off of these lights if you want to purchase them. Now let's get going with the features. Even though these lights have 40 watts per light, I think the brightness, the output brightness is really powerful. I didn't expect it to be that way. The temperature of the light is daylight. Each light also have a built-in transmission unit, and you can have 6 groups and 48 channels, and you can group lights in whatever combination you want, and you can control different lights. But you can also buy a separate control that you can use to control the intensity of light. This is only for big setups. I mean, for the usual studio setup, only 2 lights will basically be sufficient for common product photography if you want, or for simple vlogging style filming videos where you are yourself in front of the camera and need light on yourself. Another feature is that you can control the brightness of the light by 2 ways. You can do it incrementally, step by step. You have a dial, you just dial to the left or to the right, but you also have a designated button that goes from quarter to quarter. I mean, from 25% to 50, 75, and then 100%. Good thing is that the light remembers the intensity of light that you set before closing it. Together with the light, you also receive 2 diffusion panels or filters. It's a white one and an orange one, and these filters are magnetic. You simply put them on the light and they will stick to it for about 45 minutes. This is the longest time that I used the light continuously. It didn't seem that it got that hot. I mean, I used other continuous lights before, and the atmosphere was getting really hot in just 15 minutes. The only minus that I've seen so far with these lights are the back panel that shows you information about how bright the light is. That panel doesn't have visibility from all the angles. So if you want to see exactly what is happening, you kind of have to be at the same level with the panel. From my height, if I'm looking, let's say 45 degrees down, it's a little bit not visible, if you know what I mean. You also get power adapters if you want to power your lights straight from the plug, but you can also use external chargers. I'll have 2 tests for these lights. One of them is going to be video, and you're going to see the fall off of the light and how different filters affect me, and then how moving the light affects the way I'm lit in. And then I'm going to do a small product photo shoot with maybe some toys from my daughter. So this is the simple setup that I'm going to use for video, and then I'm going to keep rotating the light. And the brightness output for each light is going to be 100% for start. So in terms of camera settings, I'm at 1/50th of a second, 6.3 aperture, and ISO 100. So this means that you can use these lights to basically photograph by hand. Let's try and close the aperture a little more, going to f8, and it still looks good. Now the background, from what I've seen, it's kind of lost, so the fall off of the light, it's happening pretty fast. Now I'm moving the light, and let's see how we can affect. Yes, now you can obtain some more dramatic shots, just your head, or you can bring the light closer to you, and now you also have the background. I also have to mention that I'm not using any diffuser right now. These are just the lights with no diffuser. I'm turning only one light and getting only half of the face lit in. This could be a dramatic, let's say a dramatic portrait. yes, you can achieve some interesting effects if you want, if you are into this thing. Very easily. Now let's use the diffusers and see if we can see some differences. So this is again 100% power with the white diffuser. I don't think I see any difference. Maybe if I would look on a computer I would see something, but I think the light, the output of the light, it's a little bit lower because of the diffusion. Let's also see the orange diffuser. So right now it's pretty visible, the orange effect. I'm much warmer. I look like wax if you if you want. Okay, the fall off of the light, it's much pronounced. Yeah, so basically you can't use these lights, only two lights. You can't use only two of these lights to light up a really big setup. But the fact that you can group lights and you can use them in groups and channels and you can control them, then you can add multiple lights and you kind of resolve your problem. For general product photography and shots like this, I think these lights are great. Now in terms of weight and size and storage, these lights are really small, really lightweighted. The setup is very quick and easy. You can store these lights on a shelf on your library. I mean, the space that these lights occupy is not that big, and that I think is a really big plus, because my previous lights, my previous continuous lights had such a big space needed for them, and the fact that now I can fit them together with my books, it's a great thing for me. Also, you can see I've chosen this dramatic light. Now let's switch to some product photography and see the white balance. So this is going to be the still photo shoot. As you can see, the fall off is clearly visible on these lights. That is why I told you that if you have massive elements to photograph, it would be tricky with only two lights. What I'm going to use is the Canon 6D and also the Canon 35mm f1.4. I will photograph it f2 ISO 100. Now let's sum things up and let me tell you my opinion on these lights. The storage, it's okay. The size, it's okay. The weight, it's okay. They don't heat too much. If you want to photograph small things, only two of these lights will be sufficient. And also for filming you or photographing one person, I think it's sufficient for portraits like this. They have 40 watts per light. The brightness is really high, but they have a really big fall off, so you need to be very careful. I think these lights are perfect for me because I really like photographing or filming dramatic scenes, and I like dramatic light. But if you want to fill the entire scene with light, only two of these lights will not be sufficient, even for a full silhouette person. The quality of the light, it's really good. The white, it's where it should be, and the colors are looking okay for my eye and for my own preference. Just keep in mind how many lights you need for a bigger subject. I think for a human person on a full figure, you would probably need 3 of these lights. So if you want to buy one of these lights, use one of the links in the description of this video. Use the code PHOTOTOM. You get a 30% discount, but this is valid only until 4th of January 2019. So this was my review. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.